Western Cape rail commuters have been left stranded after Eskom cut power to all Metrorail operations. Passenger rail agency PRASA apparently didn't pay the power utility. The organisation spokesperson Makhosini Mgitywa joins us now to talk about this. A very good evening to you, Makhosini, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Is this true that power was cut off because you're behind on your payment to Eskom?
Well, let me start with the breaking news, which is that at around 5:30 this evening, power was restored. We will be resuming our operations. We will hear from our colleagues in Cape Town as to which trains will be running. But the most important thing to say is that power has been restored and that services will be running as per normal tomorrow. The matter is that Eskom cut our power because we were owing them an amount of 4 million rands for an invoice that was due 34 days ago, which is just over a month. We have had conversations with Eskom to make them appreciate the fact that we are unable to pay their invoices within the 14 days that they demand. However, we will be continuing to engage with them so that we make them appreciate the fact that PRASA is having a cash flow crunch, which doesn't mean that we are bankrupt, which doesn't mean that we will not pay. It just simply means that we are not going to pay within the 14-day window that they prescribed for us.
So what does that mean? Have you as yet not paid Eskom?
We have made a payment this afternoon. We sent them a proof of payment, which is why they restored the power.
For how long was power out?
Well, it was out for a number of hours, for a few hours. We were able to make the payment, as I've indicated, which has made them to be able to restore power to us. But I mean, Eskom is not the only creditor that we have. We have other suppliers that we need to pay, and like I indicated, it's not possible for PRASA at this time to pay invoices within 14 days.
So, were you surprised by this development? Is it unprecedented for Eskom to disconnect your traction supply?
Look, it was a surprise. We would have expected them to give us a warning. We didn't receive such a warning, and like I said, we were owing the January invoice. Right, it's a January invoice that we were owing, which made them to cut our electricity. We do not think that we were being unreasonable in saying to them that we are unable to pay them within 14 days.
But you mentioned the fact that there were discussions between Eskom and PRASA. Was there a sustainable solution to the problem that was reached, at least as you mentioned that you alerted them that you can't pay your invoices within the 14 days that they demand? Have you come up with a better plan to avoid this?
Look, the more sustainable plan for PRASA is that, we do have money, but that money is sitting in our capital expenditure program, which is the money that we keep for buying locomotives and coaches and for extending our network and doing other things that are investment into the system. We do have money there. Where we don't have money is in our operational expenditure, the money that we use to pay suppliers, etc. So we are having conversations with Treasury to have the money moved from our capital expenditure to operational expenditure, which we believe will enable us to pay some of the suppliers and to be able to keep the company afloat. That said, we are going to continue engaging with Eskom to make them appreciate the fact that, PRASA provides an important and a very, very important service to low-income earners and poor people who rely on the train service as their mode of transport, who cannot afford other modes of transport. And that given the cash flow crunch situation that we're in, we are simply unable. It's not that we are unwilling. We are unable to pay them within the 14 days.
All right, just quickly before I let you go, Makhosini, a quick one. You mentioned earlier on that some services have been restored, which at this point have not been, that will be fully operational by tomorrow morning.
Yes, I'm unable at this time to say which of the services are going to be restored by this evening. Our Cape Town office will be giving us that information in due course. But that said, I would like to reiterate that tomorrow morning we should be fully operational again.
All right, thank you very much, PRASA spokesperson Makhosini Mgitywa.